Welcome to Shadow Shorts. This is where every day at noon Eastern, I bring to you a short conversation with a thought leader, a doer in the realm of innovation for the built environment. My name is Jeff Echols. I'm a senior advisor and the head of marketing for Shadow Partners. And today I am joined by Cameron Wahl. He's a senior technology specialist at Balfour Beatty. And also, I need to add this, he's one of our mentors for our incubator program. So first, Cameron, thank you for being a mentor and thanks for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Jeff.
Absolutely. We were talking before we went live about a topic that I think it's a really great topic, and one that we may get disconnected from at some point, especially when we're really, really concentrated on the technology of it all or developing this technology. But you were talking about the friction that stands between the technology and actual innovation or adoption of the technology. You're in the construction world, you're in the field a lot. You know, you're going to leave this conversation, you're going to go out and you're going to fly some drones. So, what do you see that stands in the way of actually adopting some of this technology that we're developing?
That's a great question. I think that there's a few different answers to that parts to that. One is, we've been building like this for 30 years or insert however many years that the superintendent's been in the field. I've never needed that before. Why would I need it now? And that's a great question that we get a lot. And it's like, well, why not and try to improve? I'm sure that, none of your projects, went seamlessly. There's always a little hiccup here and there. And, maybe, this technology can help out with that whole process. And another one is, just a bad taste in the mouth. How long has BIM been around and how long have we been throwing that term around in the industry? And, coming from the field as an assistant superintendent, I had that negative connotation to it. I was like, BIM, it's going to be slow. Like, how are we going to view it? Is anybody on the project team know how to operate a model? Like, are their computers powerful enough to do that? But, I think that the technology now is just now starting to catch up, and that BIM's going to, slowly, take over, and actually do and what people think it can do and what it can do, help people out. So that's awesome. And another one, quite frankly, is, the biggest one is the cost that technology, costs. It's expensive, and there's a lot that goes into finding a piece of technology. You got to do your research, you got to test it out, run it through its paces. And then once, you get a few teams or people that really, believe in it, okay, well, now they're going to, talk to their friends or their peers and spread the good word. And, hopefully, they're going to listen to each other, because I can go into a room full of superintendents or project managers and, hey, stand on my soapbox, this will do this, this, and this, and all your headaches are gone. But until somebody steps up to the plate and does it, and then can stand up and say, hey, he's not lying. I had it on my job. This is what it helped me with. And then ears perk up, people start looking, and, then more hands get raised. And so that's an awesome feeling, to see that, slowly go from a negative into like open minds and, getting a piece of technology implemented. So, I mean, those are like the three big barriers that I
So if you flip the script then and you come at it from the opposite direction, as someone that tests new tech and implements new tech, and like I said, you're going to go fly a drone here in a few minutes. You're obviously not anti-tech and not anti-innovation. So you think about some of the people that are developing this technology, some of the innovators that are coming and saying, hey, you could use this in construction, et cetera. What's the key for some startup founder that's got reality capture or whatever their technology is? What's the key for them coming to a company like yours or anybody else in the construction world, to reduce some of that friction and to hopefully get to adoption? Is it pilot programs? Is it part of the customer discovery? What do you think? What advice do you have for the startup founders that are coming your direction?
Yeah, I got a few. I think that you get some tech companies or some people that, they see a big name like a Balfour and they instantly want the whole cake. And that happening is probably slim, not out of the question, but you got to start small. You got to crawl before you can walk and sprint. And that's the same thing. You got to, hey, let's start at a very small, give me one project or, let's talk about how I can get in. Um, and, it takes a lot, especially from my end. Like I want to make sure if I believe in a piece of technology that one, I'm pairing it with the right people, the right team. I know people, you have certain people within your organization that are going to be more tech friendly or, open-minded to technology, or you got the older people that are going to be probably closed-minded to it. So, making sure that, hey, that project's in the right stage, and we got the right everything lined up in a row, in the right scale is important. But cost is also another thing as well. Um, I don't believe in, paying a car dealership uh, to test out their car that they want me to buy. They're going to give it to me for free. Um, and I understand that, there is operational cost, but you have to take that approach of believing in your product and knowing that it's great, that people are going to want it again. I tell tech companies, I say, like, let's use the drug dealer approach, give the first one's on you. And if it's great and I like it and I need it and want it, I'm gonna come back to you and then let's talk cost, and it's not something where it's like, hey, I want to use this crazy technology that's super expensive for free on this monster, hospital that we're doing that, I'm gonna run away like a bandit, taking advantage of you. It's more of a partnership. That's what I tell tech companies. I'm like, we're both trying to benefit from this. So let's sit down and figure out a way that makes the most sense.
It, to part of your point earlier, um, from your point of view, from your side, you're taking on risk, right? You've got to convince a superintendent, um, who may or may not want to be on board. What if the technology doesn't work? What if it fails? All of these types of things. So I think there's got to be that understanding from the startup side as well. And I like that idea of partnership. And several of the startups in our incubator cohort, right? That was the purpose for going through the customer discovery and their goal coming out of the incubator was to find people willing to be beta testers of their technology, of their product that they're creating, and so I think there's got to be that understanding, because you are breaking into kind of an old school world, aren't you?
Yeah. And, it's one thing for me to, hey, go to a project team, say, hey, I have this product I want you to test out. Here it is. Here's how it can help you. Here's, the ins and the outs of it. But I can't make those people go and use that technology.
Yeah.
If, a company comes to me and it's not going to align with the proper phase of, what these people are doing, then that's, well, that 2 month trial is going to go to waste,
Right.
So
Right.
it's, making sure you have the timing lined up and, you sit down with the project team and say, hey, can we try this out? Can we work on this together? Because you're the ones that are going to be using it and you're the ones that are going to have the feedback. I can give feedback on me just, running through it, giving it a simulation, but that
Hmm.
that doesn't do anything, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is a good lesson in the importance of customer discovery. Um, it's we've talked about this offline, and we talked about this in the incubator, and it's the basis of the incubator that we run is you really have to understand what your customers need, what they value, um, the reality of their conditions, their field, if it's out in the field construction, etc. So hopefully this helps people understand some of the friction that stands between these great ideas, this great technology, and actually getting it implemented in construction firms and on job sites. In reality. So, Cameron, thank you very much for joining me for this conversation. I appreciate it. I think it'll be eye-opening for some of the startup founders out there to hear this kind of feedback.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. And, hopefully, someone that listens to this can take, a sound bite from it and learn from it, and, hopefully it benefits.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. This is Cameron Wahl, Senior Technology Specialist at Balfour Beatty. And again, one of our mentors in our incubator program, our startup incubator program at Shadow Partners. I will be back tomorrow with another Shadow Short. So thanks for listening, whether you're watching live or listening live or in some time shifted manner. We appreciate you. We'll be back again tomorrow. Have a great day.